You know, it's real quick to find out how honest a person is. You just look over at them and ask them, you ever took your finger and touched your butthole and smelled it? And if they say no, they're a lying son of a bitch. Everybody smelled their own butthole, I promise you. Just like the monkeys, right? I like beets. Them purple things, beets. When I see them on a salad bar, they always call my name. Hello, hello, hello. You know, Jason. But in the penitentiary, they serve them a lot. Canned green beans, turnip greens the size, length of your arm, with crickets and beets, right? And they're always room temperature. They're never cold like they're on a salad bar. But long story short, you also have a special breed of inmate. Notice I didn't say convict, an inmate, right? That is classified as a shit thrower, right? That's one that'll sit up in the cell and add cig or, and wait on a guard or an inmate. And they've been saving their own brew, right? And they're gonna dash you with it. That's usually followed by an ass whooping. C.K. Bell's wife, she was my outside maintenance supervisor when I was at Cummins. Little short, wide thing. Nice woman though. Her husband was Lieutenant Bell, right? And he was over to add cig. And he had a young rookie correctional officer. They said she was pretty cute. And then this boy doused her with poop. And Miss Bell's husband and a couple other guys went down there and got that boy and handcuffed him to the shower and beat the shit out of him and shocked him on his testicles, right? And then they went to federal prison for it. Sound like to me justice was served, right? Shouldn't be throwing shit on people. I know if you throw shit on me, I hope you like to fight naked. That's what I got to say about that. But how they get around that in the penitentiary is they have this special recipe. It's called Gruel. Not Groot. Gruel, right? And what they do is they get over there in that kitchen and they take everything on the tray that day, right? And they blend it and then they pour it in a loaf pan and they bake it, right? So that you can't make a solid turd or that you'll stay constipated the whole time you're there, right? Gruel. And you'd be surprised how many cakes they punch out today. How many people think they won't throw a little poop, right? Or better yet, get them a piece of bread and put a little poop in it. Seen that too. Yeah. 4 barracks, where all the mental institution people are. Yeah. They'll trade commissary for a poop sandwich. Sickest shit I ever seen in my life. But it's not the best of company in the penitentiary, right? Ain't like they're really producing all-stars. And so, long story short, if you don't want to be eating a constipation cake called gruel, you don't need to be throwing shit. Hallelujah. Right? It takes dire measures, extreme measures, measures of the constitute of faith and bearing, right? To get people to change, even in the penitentiary. And that so relates to us, don't it? These testimonies of struggle and strength, where I'm getting pushed past my limits and the last string hanging on to me looks like a rubber band and it's fraying. Dear God, where am I at with this? I don't know if I can take it, right? Dire extremes to change. Hallelujah. You know what the main principle of all that is? What I'm trying to speak to you today? Hello, you, right? Is that when you get tired of eating fucking dirt, you'll change. Yeah. And when you get tired of eating that gruel, you won't throw no more shit. I don't give a damn how bad you hate the police. Yeah. You might even give them a cake when they get done with you, right? And that's where we're at. And the majority of people that I have the honor and privilege by the faith and trust of God in my life, because it was nothing I did, are people that have gotten tired of getting a spoon and sometimes a fucking shovel and putting the dirt in their mouth. They are fed up with it, right? And they're like, man, it's real bad. And I'm like, great. Hey man, I'm struggling, I'm broke, I don't have a place to live. That's awesome. You're heading right down the path, right? Because the goal is not your comfort. I am not worried about how you fucking feel about it, right? I am concerned about whether or not I need to tighten up the vice a little bit, right? Or get you a bigger serving of some fucking dirt. Because I promise you, as long as there is a pulse and the breath and the glory of God inside you, whether or not you want to proclaim it, you will eventually say, enough! I've had enough. Right? Uncle. And at that moment, it is also my honor and pleasure to live my life in such a way that I can give you an example to say, hold up, let me catch you. This is what you do. Right? And you do not quit. Oh, you quit the dope. You quit the going to prison. If you're an alcoholic, quit the drinking. You know, quit putting your hands on people and robbing them. Quit taking people's shit, right? Yeah, that shovel, that spoon, that dirt, it'll solve all that, I promise you. Right? But you do not quit on yourself, right? Funny how that works. There's been times in my life when I swore it wasn't a shovel or a spoon or a handful, it was a fucking excavator. Right? And of course I was like, right? You got to keep a sense of humor. You got to keep your sanity. You got to understand where you're coming from, right? Because it's all in your mind. Every bit of it. You can become anybody within limits. I mean, you're never going to see me break the 40 at fucking 4:05. You're not going to see me run a mile in under 4 minutes, right? But what you can do is you can get your life together and become more than you ever thought was possible. And it'll sure be a lot better than sitting down and getting some beats. Sure be a lot better than sitting down and getting you a salt pepper shaker full of rocks, getting you a shovel of dirt. And it'll sure be better than living on the streets, prostituting, selling yourself for dope, not having your children, right? And once we get those things fixed, then we move on to the bigger and better thing, because your service is required. You don't get out for free, motherfucker. You go back in, and we work on freedom for felons, freedom for the American people, freedom of our voice, freedom to know what the hell's going on in our government. We move up the ladder, and we carry the people with us. God bless you. I love you. Keep punishing motherfuckers with your success. Fluid English.
1, 2, 3.
That was a